Okay, so today I want to go over the most important things for recovery. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first one, and these aren't in any particular order, it's honestly just how I came up with them. But the first one is sleep. Sleep is so crucial for recovery because I feel like most people are like, oh, you make gains in the gym, which obviously, yes, you do need the gym to make gains. But the gym isn't technically where you're actually making the gains. In the gym, you're tearing the muscle. Once the muscle is teared, it then has to adapt and repair itself. When does it do that? It does that during sleep. So if you're getting shit sleep all the time, guess what? You might be tearing your muscle constantly in the gym, but you're not giving your body the time to build it back up to actually make the gains that you're trying to get. So I have a video that goes a little bit deeper into sleep, but I'll just do like a quick little overview right now, and I'll try and put that sleep video like at the end. But for sleep, you want to be getting somewhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So obviously that is a pretty wide range, but it's honestly up to you. So what I would say is pick somewhere in that range. Maybe you start at 7 hours, maybe you start at 8, 9, whatever. You just kind of see how many hours you feel that you just wake up from and you just feel fully recovered. Once you find that time, that's how many hours of sleep you need. Obviously, there are going to be some outliers, like there are some people that only need like 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night, but odds are if you're watching this, you probably need your 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Now, a lot of people struggle to get that. So a couple quick things that can help you get better sleep is if you're looking for a supplement, you can take magnesium. Magnesium will help, but it's not going to be the end all be all. If you're on your phone late at night, that blue light is going to keep you up. Light in general is going to keep you up. So try and be in dimmer environments when you're trying to go to sleep. And then obviously lights off when you are going to sleep. But try and just put your phone away. Because so many people will stay up for an extra hour, 2 hours, or even longer, just like scrolling through on their phone. And if you just put your phone away, you would eventually fall asleep. And the last thing I want to say for sleep is the easiest way to be able to fall asleep really fast is honestly getting into a sleep routine. So this is going to be, you want to try and fall asleep at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every day. This makes it so much easier to fall asleep and wake up in the mornings. For example, I did this for like 2 months where I was going to sleep 5 nights a week at 8 p.m. And then on the weekends, I'd stay up a little bit later, but no past like 10:30, 11 usually. And then I would wake up Monday through Friday, I'd wake up at 5 a.m. And I would, on the weekends, the latest I would wake up was like 7:30. But like during the weeks, you'd think I would need an alarm to wake up at 5 a.m. Most of the time, I didn't even need an alarm. I would wake up like 5-10 minutes before it, and I would just get up and start my day. Like my body was just so used to it that it became a routine, and I didn't even need my alarm anymore. Obviously, I still set it, but so that's basically like how to get some better sleep and why sleep's so important. So let's get to the next one. So the next one is hydration. Being hydrated is so important because most of your bodily processes require water in some sense. Like water helps move things throughout your body. It is just so important. And it also carries the sodium, which helps with a lot of like neurons firing, things like that. But I literally wrote this down as water/hydration because hydration doesn't just mean drinking water. Hydration also has to do with other things, which one really good tip that I've started doing, and I do this literally daily at this point, is especially in the morning, because in the morning you've just gone 8 hours with drinking either very minimal water or no water while you were asleep. But if you just add like a pinch of water a pinch of salt in your water in the morning, that will help hydrate you so much. The way I do this is I take a daily supplement called AG1 that I take every morning. So I just add a little bit of salt into that because also for me, it makes it taste a little better. But just doing that will help you hydrate so much more. So the next thing is, we're talking about rest and recovery. It's literally just rest. Like your body is not meant to go to the gym 7 days a week for 52 weeks out of the year. Like that would be 365. Like you can't do that every day. Obviously you can push yourself through it, but if we're talking about actually making gains, that's a whole different story. You need to be resting. So personally, I would say I do 1 rest day a week. 2 rest days a week is definitely fine too, but you need at least 1 or 2 rest days a week because it'll just help your body recover. And if you want to know how to decide if you're actually properly rested, the easiest way to decide this is, let's say you're hitting your muscle groups twice a week, right? So you're doing like a normal like push-pull legs or Arnold split, right? When you go in for that second day of the week, so let's say it's push, right? So you hit push, you hit your 2 other days, rest day, and you're at push again, right? If you can't push literally the same amount of weight, or at least the same amount of reps of that weight, your body is just not recovered. Like your body was not ready to do that workout. So at that point, that's when you need to either start decreasing the volume you're doing, increasing the rest days, and just making some adjustments because you're overtraining at that point. And so many people overtrain all the time, and that also stints your recovery because you're doing too much. So rest days are so important. I know there's a lot of people out there that are trying to be like hardcore alphas and they think it's like really cool to like do something every day. And you can do something every day. You can't be hardcore pushing yourself every day. Your body is just not going to be able to fully recover. And if you're trying to make gains in the best way possible, you need to be fully recovered. That's literally not you. You don't need to be, but if you're trying to do it as effectively as possible, you do need to be. One other thing on rest, and honestly, I don't even do this well enough, but you should probably be taking a deload week at some point, like at least every couple months. Try and take like, I don't really like doing deload weeks, but at some point, or if you're not going to do a deload week, have that be just an elongated rest period where like every once in a while, I'll just be like, you know what, I should take 3 days off to let my body like truly recover. So if you don't know what a deload week is, quickly, it's just when you drop the weight to like 50-60% of what you normally do. You go in, you'll do your normal routine, but with much less weight, as I said, 50-60% of what you would normally do. And it's just to keep yourself moving and keep yourself burning calories, but it gives your body a bunch of time to rest and get back to 100%. Okay, so the next one is I want to talk about lifting around injuries / I guess just building up to deal with injuries. So lifting around injuries, for me, I honestly, I can't remember what shoulder was at this point. I'm like clear of it now, but I think it was my right shoulder. It was. My right shoulder, I tweaked it in June and it was bothering me literally till September, to the point of like, if I tried to do like any incline chest press, right? Any version of it with a machine, with a barbell, Smith machine, anything, no weight, it would hurt immediately. There was just something about the motion at that point because I tweaked it that hurt. So some people would just stop lifting. You should not do that. What I did is I found chest movements that didn't hurt. So for example, at the gym I'm at right now, there was a flat machine chest press. So I did that fine. And even with that, I noticed pushing the weight up initially would hurt, but once I had it up, I was fine. So what did I do? I used both hands to push it up without pain. And then from there, I would hit my set. And I only did 2 other chest movements that were just other machines that I found that didn't hurt. Because like another thing was like doing like a pec deck, that hurt my shoulder. The second I got it like back here, it hurt. And I was able to push through and I maintained my strength the entire time. And honestly, I probably did get slightly stronger at a point where a lot of people would have just lost a lot of size and strength because they weren't lifting. So when you have an injury, obviously there's certain injuries you cannot lift around. But if you can lift around your injuries and it's not going to cause more damage, it is a good thing to do. And then the next thing, as I said, is building up areas around injuries. So when I was in high school, I subluxed my patella tendon, which is just a fancy way for saying I stretched out my patella tendon. If you don't know what your patella tendon is, I'll back up real quick. It is the tendon that connects your kneecap down here, right around there. And so obviously, as I said, I hurt that. And my knee would kill me for years until I figured out how to fix it. Because there isn't like an easy, it wasn't like a well-known thing, right? This was something that I had to go find. And what I ended up doing was, it's a leg extension hold. So I'm gonna back up here. Obviously, when you're doing a leg extension, you'd be sitting like this and then extend up. And then you'd go back down, and that's how you do it with reps, right? But what I had to do was I would do a single leg extension, But when I got to the top, I'd hold. And I would hold it for probably about 20 seconds usually, and then put it down, do the other leg. But what that did was that specifically strengthened my patella tendon. And it got it to the point where initially I was wearing a knee brace to like walk to class. Like for reference, that'd be like a half a mile at school, right? It got it to the point where like a year and a half later, I was able to run 5 miles with knee brace on. Like previously, like running just always hurt. Then I would run, and like if I ran initially, my knee would hurt for a couple of days. And like I still had pain pretty much every day. It got to the point where I was able to run 5 miles. I did have to ice that night, but outside that, it might hurt a little bit that day, but next day I was fine. And those are ways where like in the gym, I consider that part of recovery. It's getting yourself back to being 100%, right? So that is another form of recovery. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is your diet. Eating a clean diet is so important, and it just makes you feel genuinely so much better. So for me, like I cook, let's say I eat 4 meals a day, 7 days a week, obviously. So I eat 28 meals a week. I eat 2 meals typically, maybe 3 or 4, but usually only 2 or 3 that are out, that are like not cooked by me. And obviously when I cook, I try and keep all my meals relatively clean. Now, what does this have to do with recovery, right? When you eat clean, your body just functions. Like your baseline level of effectiveness of your body and efficiency is so much higher than when you're eating like crap food all the time. And honestly, the literal best example of this literally happened to me today. So as I said, I cook most of my meals. So I'm working in a classroom right now. We go on what's called outing, where I'm working with students with autism, and we'll typically go somewhere and have them practice ordering food in like a real life scenario. So today we went to Dairy Queen, which I've never eaten at before until today, and it was okay. But eating food like that, like ultra processed food like that, genuinely. So let's see, it's 3:15 right now. I finished my lunch by like 12:30 today. I genuinely have been so lethargic and tired since I ate that meal. Like I should not have felt tired. When I eat my normal meals, that does not happen. And once your body gets used to eating like a relatively clean diet and good foods, when you eat crap like that, like McDonald's, Wendy's, Dairy Queen, and just anything like that, you feel so much worse after eating it. And that is because for me, my baseline level of efficiency for my body is so much higher than people that eat food like that all the time, where for them, when they eat it, they don't feel fine, but that's because they're only at like, let's say like a 50% efficiency all the time. Whereas my body's running at, let's say like 85% efficiency all the time. When I eat that like Dairy Queen, now I feel so much worse. So I'm probably only at like 60%, which my baseline efficiency is still higher than someone eating that constant ultra processed diet, but it's still higher, as I said. Like I'm still at a higher efficiency because I eat mostly clean most of the time, right? And the way this connects to recovery, once again, is if your body is just going to be more effective, it can heal up and do things and make the adaptations and changes it needs to in a more effective manner. Okay, let's get to my Sunday Night Football pickups. So this week, I believe this game actually got flexed in, but it's Vikings-Colts. The line I saw was -5 for the Vikings, which is such a big line. If you're looking for like outright, I'd 100% just take the Vikings. I think they're going to win the game. But with Joe Flacco starting now, and then the Vikings left tackle, who's very good, got hurt last week, like 5 points is so many. And I feel like because Joe Flacco's a vet, he could kind of be able to not pick apart this Vikings defense because it's been so good. But I don't know. It's a lot of points. I'm honestly very torn here. It's a good line. I think I would end up taking. Honestly, I'd probably do a teaser here and do like maybe I'd do like Vikings -2.5. I'd probably tease it down to that. Or if you want to do like Colts +7.5, something like that. But honestly, I would not take that line. I don't like it at all. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can implement some of these recovery methods to help you recover and make more gains in the gym. Send this to anyone who's trying to make more gains and get their recovery on point. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on next Sunday at 5 p.m. Catch you there.